Welcome back to this Moneycontrol live stream. I'm Nandita Khemka and this is Yatin Mota and you're watching Closing Bell right here with us on Moneycontrol. Well, I know we've snapped out of a 4-day losing streak, some semblance of green on the screen, Yatin, much to the relief of traders. We've gotten so used to seeing range-bound trade, red on the screen, Nifty moving within the 70-80 point range. But, today we've broken out on the upside, so to say. Given the fact that we clocked that 25,200 mark in intraday trade, ended just shy of that level, but 25,245, that was the swing high for today. 25,200 on a closing basis is being awaited, and experts say that on a closing basis, if we see 25,200 for a couple of sessions, perhaps that's when we could see some more upside going forward. But in terms of the broader end of the markets, they were outperforming for a second straight day. Both the Nifty mid and small cap indices were in the green. The breadth was also skewed in favor of gainers, 2:1. That was NSE advanced decline ratio. Broad-based gains today. The Nifty bank index ended above that 57,000 mark. You have all the sectors. Metals were under pressure, but they still managed to eke out some gains. So all the sectors ended in the green. Good part is that IT pack, which was stuck in a downtrend, managed to reverse course, and today we saw the IT pack as well. Ending in the green. Autos were, taking the lead today, 1.5% gain on the auto pack. Pharma as well did well, gained in excess of 1%. Lots of factors, Yatin, moving the market today. First of all, retail inflation has cooled off to a 6-year low of 2.1%. I think Lata Venkatesh spoke to RBI governor, exclusive chat, and she mentioned, she asked him rather about whether we can see more rate cuts. Remember last time we got a 50 basis point rate cut and the stance was changed to neutral, but the RBI governor has not ruled out another rate cut.
Yes, that is what he said, that neutral stance doesn't mean that you cannot cut rates. But I think situation depends on the global macros. I think, Nandita, the way the US president is extending the tariff issues in general are taking time to get resolved. I think US also knows that if they keep extending this, there could be a fear of a recession, there could be a fear of uncertainty. TCS also said that globally clients are uncertain. So if this continues, probably central banks globally would need to step in if there was a very big recession or a slowdown indication. But yes, things are looking slightly gloomy at this point in time, especially to do with the global trade issues.
That's true, Yatin, but a commerce ministry team is in the US and talks are on, and they are there till Thursday. So there's some bit of optimism, at least when it comes to the India-US trade deal. But of course, we are awaiting more details. We have been waiting for a long time, and the wait continues.
Correct.
But Yatin, looking at some of the individual movers, then as I mentioned, autos were taking the lead, and two-wheelers were at the forefront today. Correct. Look at MotoCorp, 5% up. FY26 strategy, we'll touch upon that. That stock was up 5%. Bajaj Auto closed second, 3%. Sun Pharma on the back of positive development, that stock was up 3%. Shriram Finance, Apollo Hospital, Bajaj Finserv, IndusInd Bank, Tata Motors, Trent, all these stocks are doing well. On the flip side, HCL Tech, although IT pack was up, HCL Tech continues to fret. Margin disappointment here, margin guidance being scaled down by 1%. Mixed views from the street, but downgrades outpace upgrades. Eternal and life insurers were down. Tata Steel, Kotak Mahindra Bank, Axis Bank, which reports numbers tomorrow, was under pressure today, and some of the metal names also not doing all that well. But broader end of the markets, Yatin, second straight day of gains.
Yeah, second days of gain, and if you look at the advanced decline ratio, much better than yesterday. In fact, today it was almost 3:1, clearly indicating the buying that we saw in the broader markets. Both Nifty mid cap and Nifty small cap were up nearly a percentage point. What was doing well, Swan Energy 12% higher, Sobha Developers up 7%, Anant Raj up 6%. Also reacting to the results, Rallis was up nearly 7-8%, cooled off obviously from the day's high, but yes, that stock was in focus. What was not doing well is JP Power. After the fantastic rally in the counter, today we saw 10% lower circuit. Inox Wind fell 6% in trade, Tejas Networks fell 6% in trade after a weak set of numbers, and Ola Electric, after 20% move yesterday, today again profit taking in the counter, 6% lower for that stock.
Ola Electric clearly taking a U-turn, but had a very good day yesterday. But Yatin, since we're talking about autos, Tesla has made its official entry into the Indian market. It has opened its first showroom, and we'll get you the visuals as well on the screen. BKC, that's where the first showroom has opened. And just want to say that the Model Y has been launched in India at a starting price of just a little under 60 lakh rupees ex-showroom. And of course, the car is available in rear wheel drive version only. I think because other versions will be priced higher, and India being a price sensitive market, that would impact volume. So I think which is why they've come up with a rear wheel drive model in India. And the long range model has been priced at somewhere around 67.8 lakh rupees. Of course, this is the first showroom in India, and the next one will be opening up in the capital in Delhi. And the Model Y will initially be available in Mumbai, Delhi and Gurugram, and the deliveries will be starting from the third quarter of the current year. The pricing, Yatin, has dispelled competition fears within the Indian OEMs, right? I think which is why we saw the likes of M&M, Tata Motors, all of them perking up in trade, Yatin.
In fact, 49 lakh rupees ex-showroom, probably when you buy the, car with insurance and registration fees, it works out to be nearly 60 lakhs. And the same Model Y is probably costing nearly 31 lakhs in the Chinese subcontinent. So, that is a kind of impact because of the import duties. Tariffs obviously would be a key part, because right now Tesla does not intend to start manufacturing locally, which means if it imports, probably the costing moves up. Whether or not it is viable or competitive is something we'll watch out for. But yes, the first showroom cum experience center of India when it comes to Tesla getting launched in Mumbai's financial district, which is BKC.
That's right, Yatin. That's about Tesla. Elon Musk's company has finally made its official India entry. But let's talk about some of the other two-wheeler makers as well, other automakers as well. And two-wheelers, of course, they were in top gear today. Hero MotoCorp, it has unveiled its FY26 strategy, and of course, won accolades from the street. The stock was up 5%, and the company has highlighted that FY26 will be a year of acceleration. The company is looking to dig deeper into international territories, especially when it comes to the European markets. It will be targeting countries like Germany, France, Spain and the UK in the second quarter itself. It has mentioned that FY26 will be a pivotal year when it comes to international growth. It has emphasized the strategy on global expansion, even strength in the retail market as well. The company has achieved a 43% year-on-year growth in international business in FY25, led by South Asia and Latin America markets. It is of course also planning to strengthen its premium motorcycle portfolio, and of course it plans to become a more diversified global brands as it looks to tap into all these European nations that I mentioned. Of course, we know that the company had collaborated with Harley Davidson and it continues to pay well. The company is also looking to expand this partnership with Harley Davidson with new platforms. It has also highlighted its investment of 510 crore rupees in Euler Motors, whereby its EV three-wheeler market is expected to see robust growth driven by e-commerce, logistics as well as last mile delivery. The company has been scaling up its own two-wheeler offerings as well under the Vida brand, and it is targeting urban customers and young buyers who are more conscious of shifting to more sustainable options. The company is of course committed to reinforcing its dominance in the domestic market as well. Retail market share has been on an upward trajectory. We have had tailwinds in the form of uptick in rural demand, good monsoons, more money in the hands of taxpayers. So all these factors as well working well, and inventories are also now well calibrated. The excess stock buildup that we had seen, that problem is also abating, and which is of course lending another tailwind to the industry as a whole. Yes, of course, the company also has leadership in the 125cc motorcycle segment, and the company has been gaining market share in this segment in FY25. It actually expects to gain more market share going forward. So, Hero MotoCorp in top gear, FY26 strategy went down well with the street.
Correct. And if you look at, the auto shares, given the fact that monsoons are doing well, in fact, there was a deficit till last week. And I think for the last 10 days, pan-India, we have seen a monsoon pick up. Still, a lot of districts are lagging, but I think pan-India basis, we are at above monsoon level. Many reservoirs in key states, key agri belts have been full. So, that probably helps companies like Hero MotoCorp, the consumption theme, the FMCG names, the reason why they have been outperforming for the last, 1 quarter or so clearly reflects that the quarterly updates are picking up, demand would pick up, and now, with Ganesh Chaturthi next month in August end, that typically marks the start of the festive season, followed by Dashera, Diwali, Christmas and so on. So I think with the start of the festive season also, I think a lot of expectations that consumption names, the auto names, especially the two-wheeler players, would do well. But what was not doing well, Nandita, is HCL Technologies.
Yeah.
And despite a slightly better than expected quarter, we have seen mixed numbers come in. Operationally, things are looking okay, despite the fact that they had increased the guidance from 2% growth to 3% growth baseline in CC terms. It probably failed to cheer the street. In fact, if you look at brokerages also, they have not been that bullish on the counter. Today, if you look at the brokerage notes, Nuvama on HCL Technologies gives a downgrade. They have now put the stock on a hold. Target has been cut to 1630. They believe that EBIT margins are slightly lower than estimates. Deal value has been lower at $1.8 billion, down nearly 40% quarter on quarter. And the guidance gap has also narrowed. Probably, this brokerage is not that bullish on the counter. Citi, however, has a neutral on HCL Technologies. Target is 1650. They believe that the IT services business was flattish for the quarter. Headcount was only up 2% for the quarter, and no demand deterioration have been seen. In fact, BFSI and tech has been improving. However, other sector continue to remain weak, and that is the same commentary we saw from TCS. Manufacturing, autos, heavy industries, especially in Europe, have not been doing well for Indian IT companies. Probably the decision making there is lagging. Whether or not it picks up, it depends on the trade war, as we have spoken about it earlier many times. So let's see how things shape up globally, because that is one factor which will keep IT sector slightly nervous till the time things don't get resolved there.
That's true, Yatin. But there were quite a few lesser, but quite a few bulls when it comes to HCL Tech as well, Yatin. Jefferies, for instance, has upgraded the stock, so to say. And also, analysts that I spoke to at Motilal Oswal also pointed out that HCL Tech may be better placed within the large cap basket. Valuations for large cap IT is much better compared to mid cap peers. And secondly, in terms of revenue visibility, most of them have pointed out that HCL Tech is better placed because in terms of their constant currency revenue, they saw a 0.8% kind of a dip, wherein TCS saw 3.3% dip. And also, two deals that were supposed to close in the last quarter will close in the coming quarter. Yes. So that's another thing that I think they pointed out. So in terms of large cap IT, most analysts I spoke to, and some reports also suggested that HCL Tech is better placed. Also, the earnings weren't all that great also because for the products business, so to say, it is a seasonally weak quarter for HCL Tech. But in terms of pharma, or shift focus to pharma then, Sun Pharma, positive news flow, and the stock, in the pink of health today, 3% up almost. It has announced the launch of its specialty product Lexelvi in the US. It's an anti-hair loss drug. This after it announced a settlement of a patent dispute with US-based Insight Corporation. Now, Insight had earlier accused Sun Pharma of patent infringement, but that case has been won by Sun, and now it has announced the launch of Lexelvi in the US. This is earlier than anticipated, this launch, and which is why the street has taken note of it, and they have lauded this particular development. Elara particularly says that this may turn into a potential $300 million product for the company over the next 3 to 5 years, and could scale up to be the second largest product for Sun Pharma post Illumia. Now, I just want to point out that Revlimid patent expires in Jan 2026. Although, Sun's share in Revlimid had been going down, and the company was focusing more on specialty products. In that light, whatever loss would have arisen out of Revlimid, this will be made up by this particular drug, because the focus had already shifted to specialty drugs for Sun. So this bodes particularly well for Sun on that level. But in terms of brokerage views, Elara has reiterated its accumulate rating on the stock. Target price is at 1870, and Morgan Stanley has also said that it's overweight and target price is at 1960 rupees. They said that the early launch supports their overweight thesis, and they are expecting Lexelvi FY26 sales at $61 million and FY27 sales projections look like $83 million for the company. So all in all, this drug bodes well and could turn into a potential $300 to $500 million product for the company.
And I think it's an important drug, to treat alopecia, which is, when your immune system attacks your own
hair follicles.
Follicles, there is a hair fall and, patches of hair when you see baldness. So, an important product. And the terms of the entire settlement have been private. There is no disclosure. But yes, big thing for Sun Pharma, because rather than escalation, the things are now getting settled, and it is good for Sun Pharma's future pipeline also. So this is one drug which was much awaited, and with the resolution, Sun Pharma is now cleared to launch the product in the US market.
That's true, early launch boding well for Sun. So that was about Sun Pharma and all the stocks that we had on the show today. Good day of trade, triple digit up move on the Nifty Bank Index also ending above 57,000. Mid caps doing well, all the sectors in the green. So yes, it's been a good Tuesday. Let's hope this momentum continues and it's just not a one-off. But yeah, 25,200, a close above that would have been much better. But still, tomorrow is another day and hopefully we'll see extension of these gains. And of course, we have earnings as well to digest. But with that, we are completely timed out on this edition of Closing Bell. From me and Yatin, thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned to Moneycontrol for all your other news and updates.